Okay, so we're here with Ben Stone from Lifetime Tattoo Derby in the UK. How's it going, Ben? Are you well?
Yeah, not too shabby, mister. Thank you very much.
Good. Thanks for having us over to your lovely studio. So tell us a little bit about your story getting into tattooing. How did that come about?
Always been a little bit drawery and creative, like my mum was an art teacher. Always really wanted to do tattooing since I was about 14, I think. But it didn't really happen until I was about 27, 28. In the early days, I used to go around asking in the studios. I got tattooed when I was very young. And I always used to ask.
What age were you when you got tattooed?
I was about 16.
Is that illegal?
That's a little bit naughty. I've always looked this grizzled.
So how did you get into tattooing? From, I mean, you were doing some album covers, doing some other, artist work.
I was on tour actually, and we were in tour in East Germany.
And what you were touring as?
Oh, sorry, I was touring with New Model Army. I was just a swaggy.
Selling t-shirts. Yeah.
Selling t-shirts, and I was working with Jules Denby, and we were bored. The gig was on, and I think we were graffitiing all over a wall / table or something, and we were drawing hula girls and devil heads and all the cool things that you draw when you're a kid. And Jules just
devil's heads when you're a kid.
Yeah, really. I have a picture that I did when I was 3. It's actually on my mum's old drawing board, and it's a huge bat, and down in the corner there's like a little a bush. I think it's a bush with a spider web, and there's a shelf kind of floating with a bottle of poison and a skull. I still have it. It's pretty cool. But where was I? Yeah, Jules had just won a literary prize and had come into a little bit of money, and she said, "You need to be a tattooist."
Right, and Jules Denby is she's quite famous for her poetry. And
she is very famous for poetry and her novels.
Right, okay.
Very, very good, and her artwork as well. She did all the artwork for New Model Army, and all the t-shirts as well. And she said that she was going to buy me a machine, providing I did it properly and went and found an apprenticeship. And lo and behold, she did. She stuck to her word.
Tell us about the first tattoo that you ever did on somebody.
I ever did on somebody. It was a guy called Dan in Brighton, and he was in a band, and there was a particular piece of flash which I really, really liked, and he had loads and loads of tattoos which he wanted fixing, but I kind of just wanted to do something of my own to start with. Actually, it wasn't my design, and we did it in my front room, and I was so scared, but it was all right actually. It wasn't too bad. It took a long time and it really hurt.
So you're fairly proud of your first tattoo?
Yeah, I was. It was good.
Okay, and as for that first tattoo you did on yourself, I mean, there seems to be an initiation process for a lot of tattooers where they actually, if they're doing apprenticeships and stuff, they're not allowed to tattoo on somebody else unless they've tattooed themselves first. You'd be one of that crowd, is that correct?
I am no different. I sat for 5 hours plugging away at my leg in Adam stuff, which is front room, and it didn't really hurt the first time, but I made a pretty royal mess of my leg.
And what was it?
It was a devil head from a Reverend Horton Heat album cover. It had lots and lots of lines in it. Probably not the best one to pick.
Okay, does it remain to this day, or has it been covered up?
Yeah, no, it's still there, unfinished. I've let a couple of other people have their first go within the design.
So there's an art fusion experiment just happening on your thigh at the moment.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Any new tattooer coming into it gets a bit of a go on your leg.
Not anymore. It hurts too much now. It hurts too much. One particular new tattooer ran the machine, or ran the needle so deep it did stop the machine. So I had to quite calmly, say, "Okay, let's stop now. Let's see if we can pull that out." Stop again.
Since you began about 10 years ago, tattoo art and the tattoo industry has changed significantly. maybe jumping from a place where it wasn't getting the respect it deserved to a place where you almost can't turn on the telly now without seeing some version of tattooing, or you can't even engage in popular culture without seeing tattooing's influences. Do you think that's a positive thing?
You say about 10 years ago it wasn't getting the respect. To be honest, I think it was getting the respect from the right people. The people that were into tattooing. I don't really think tattooing needed a big media push.
I'm most certainly talking about people outside of the industry. Tattooing always had the respect within itself.
I don't think, well, for me, I don't think that I or quite a lot of other people really gave a toss if people from outside the industry respected it or not. That's kind of what it was. When you got tattooed when you were younger, or for me anyway, it was still like a little bit of a rebellious thing. And I liked that. I liked the magic and the mystery that surrounded going into a tattoo studio. I remember when I first went into my first tattoo studio, I was scared. Really, really scared. I didn't know what to do, how to approach asking for a tattoo. But it was good. I wouldn't have changed it. I thought if it was like walking into McDonald's or something, that's not rebellious, that's not fun, that's not doing something a little bit that you shouldn't, which I probably shouldn't have been doing at the time because I was probably a bit too young. But I like that, and I think it's a real shame that quite a lot of that mystery is gone. I do think, we're quite open and friendly in this studio, but it is something I think that I'd maybe like to reclaim a little bit more of the unknown.
Right. Okay. So you always.
I never joined it.
But maybe you're so entrenched in the industry now that you maybe don't see it with those eyes.
Absolutely.
And maybe certain people still do have that.
I hope so.
I hope so.
But it's got to be less because like you were saying, you just got to turn on the TV and you just got to watch for more than half an hour. And there's something on tattooing and how cool it is, and wouldn't it be great if we could all be tattooists? And it was a really hard thing to be a tattooist, but I found it quite hard. I didn't want to start messing up people with no knowledge. I did want to do it the proper way, and there were channels. You got lucky, and you had to keep going. Really, had to pester.
Okay, Ben, and which tattooers or artists influence you most? Professionals in the industry already that you feel are maybe pushing the boundaries of the art form.
French Thomas, Into You in London, his stuff blows me away. It's not stuff that I have, but it's when I look at his work, I just think, how on earth do you even begin a piece like that? And it's the things, it's the tattoos that make me really think and how did you do that? How did you even begin to do that? There's quite a lot of artists. Jason Butcher's black and grey work blows me away as well. The inspirations, I think before I started tattooing, I always loved Theo Jack's work at Infamous Studio in Stockholm. I always really liked his work, and I finally went over there and got some tattoos from him, and I learned a lot from just being tattooed by him. I bought my portfolio and he had a look, and he pulled me up on a lot of stuff. It was very, very helpful. He was a gentleman, an absolute gentleman.
So it's an educational experience for you.
Very much so. Very much so. It was more than I could hope for and more. I've been back a few times and got more tattoos. I've always loved this stuff. And I will be back for more as well.
What about your influences outside of tattooing? What do you draw inspiration from anything in particular?
Yeah, all the time. I spent most of my youth in art galleries and museums with my folks, and I still go now. I take my children. Always got loads of books. Artists like Mucha. I can draw inspiration from an old sofa design, anything really.
Right, okay. And there's a lot, obviously, I mean, we've touched on this before, there's a lot of people who are looking to get into tattoo industry, maybe more than there is spaces or opportunities, in fact. Could you give anybody out there who is an aspiring tattooer or artist some advice on the best way about going and getting into the industry?
Find someone that you respect as a tattooer and talk to them. Don't go and buy a kit off eBay and mess your mate's legs up. It's a privileged profession. It's not for everybody, and it's not always, it's not easy, full stop. It shouldn't be easy. It shouldn't be easy for a long time. You should understand the amount of dedication it takes to change people's skin. Tattoo TV, close to